Okay, off the bat, I'm not a huge soccer fan, never was. To me, I think it's kind of boring, but I want to talk about this briefly today because this brings up the point of allowing biological males in women's sports. Wrexham and the U.S. women played a soccer match in North Carolina, and the Wrexham men absolutely destroyed the women by a score of 12 to nothing. The Wrexham team was made up of retired, current, and former, and some guest players. The U.S. women's team included World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly and was coached by soccer legend Mia Hamm. My point of this quick video is men and women play differently. There's an absolute size and speed and strength advantage, and that's not hating on women at all. It is what it is. So, but all these people who want to put biological males in women's sports, this video right here will prove that the men have an advantage. So, I'm going to play a clip of every goal that was scored, and then I'm going to talk about it a little more. So, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you realize that men should be in men's sports and women should be in women's sports. And all these people who want to push for the men in women's sports need to cut the nonsense. So I'm going to show you that clip in a minute about all the goals that were scored, but I just want to say I'm not doing this video to shit on women's sports because I know as well as all of you that there are thousands of top-notch first-class female athletes in our country. They all play hard, train hard, and most of them start whatever sport they're playing when they are young girls. And they continue to grow through leagues and high school and college and some beyond. But this video shows you that the men have an obvious biological advantage over the women. That U.S. team is a top-notch team coached by a superstar athlete, and they got literally destroyed. They scored 0 goals, but people still insist that it's okay to put biological men who identify as women into women's sports. It's absolutely wrong, and it needs to stop. So have a look at this brief highlight clip of all the goals that were scored by the men's team in that soccer match.
Again, you got to be careful. There's a shot, and there's a goal. First goal of the game. Nice spin move here by Lloyd. Lloyd fires and scores. Back-to-back goals here. And now quickly on the counter. Another shot and another goal. And yes, it's Lewis Lloyd again.
And also look for the players running off of him. It's a big ask, but...
Well, there's Trundle able to turn and get another goal, so now it's 4-0. But Trundle able to keep it with the left, and Trundle with his second goal. It's now 5.
And trying to kill teams off, so yeah, so far so good in this game.
So far so good. Another goal. Trundle got a hat trick. Murkoff trying to move around, and that's going to be a nice pass and a goal for Murkoff. Takes that shot with the left, and Murkoff is able to get one by
feet, locking your ankles and swinging to make that perfect contact.
And that was perfect contact, a nice feed. And Daniel Jarvis has the 10th goal of the game here for Wrexham.
I mean, it's a fast pace. You know, a lot of these guys have a lot of experience, a lot of goals as well, like that, exactly. Big.
Here's a turnover. Jarvis, there it is. Game over. 12-0 Wrexham.
And there you have it. They scored 7 goals in the first 20 minutes of that match. They were going to go to a score of 12 if it was 12-0, and then they would stop the game because it would have been an absolute destruction if it went higher than 12, even though 12-0 to me is a destruction. These men, again, some current, some former, retired, some guest players, whatever that means, they showed not that the women are bad soccer players, but they showed the advantage they have with their strength and their skills. The women again, are top-notch athletes, 100% fact. But they're women. The men are faster, bottom line. The men are stronger, bottom line. So that's why this men's team beat the women's team. But today, we constantly see left-wing politicians keep pushing and pushing to put biological males in female sports from young kids all the way up through college, when there is an absolute biological advantage for the man. I don't care how many hormones they've taken or how long they've been on them or how long they grow their hair, they still have an advantage. And we all know who Riley Gaines is, and she's continuing to this day to stop this nonsense of putting men in women's sports because it is wrong and it takes away fair play. These females start when they are young to hone their craft at whatever sport they're playing. And again, there's thousands of first-class, top-notch athletes in this country, female athletes. And there's some college sporting programs that are just unbelievable. But like Penn State, let Leah William Thomas swim against the women, and he wins an NCAA D1 title. That's wrong. But people, the Democrats, the liberals, the progressives, they don't have a problem with it. Because that man is living his true self as a woman and should be allowed to play against the women. I think all of these politicians in Congress and local legislatures, they should all watch this soccer match from the beginning to the time it ended, and just maybe they will get a sense of how ridiculous they are wanting to put men in women's sports. The proof is on the table. It's in the video. The men have an advantage, and they had a huge advantage against a talented, top-notch U.S. women's team, and the women could not even score one goal. But they'd rather, the Democrats, the liberals, the progressives, they would rather put men in women's sports because that man can't compete against men, and have that man take a championship away from a female who's been doing it her entire life, and all these left-wing liberals are okay with it because he's a woman after all. No, I don't understand how they could honestly even look at themselves in the mirror and think it's okay for a biological male to take a championship in a female sport, whether it's swimming, soccer, basketball, hockey, whatever. They don't belong there. If they're not good enough to compete against the men, then they don't compete at all unless they make a transgender league, which I think they should because there are enough of them today. They're nothing but biological males who are not good enough to compete against other males, but they want to compete, so they join women's teams and then they dominate the women. So I don't know what else to say about this. I'm just like beating a dead horse because it's obviously never going to go away. The left wing is going to continue to push this as far as they can push it to make sure biological men are allowed in women's sports. It should be outlawed. It should be banned. It should not be even a thought in anyone's head. It's 100% wrong, and it needs to stop. So again, maybe this video should be viewed on a big screen to all the Democrats in Congress and all the Democrats in every local legislature. Just let them sit back and watch it. Can they really say, after seeing it, that, oh, it's fair. Oh, the women played good. It's pretty fair. It's not fair. It's completely off the charts unfair because these men absolutely destroyed that women's team. So stop this nonsense. Let the boys and the men be them, and let the girls and the women be them. Leave them separate. Let them compete against their own biological sex. And if it's that important for the men who think they're women, make a league for them, because again, there's plenty of them. So share this video, like this video, and show it to people. Let them see what's going on here and get the conversation started about a total group of men, retired and current players, the damage they did to a women's team, and that women's team was made up of professionals. There's no comparison. Men do not belong in women's sports. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Again, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. You'll never miss an episode. I hope everybody's healthy and safe, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day.